Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Jason Friedman. I'm with Associated Estates, and this is really exciting, I have to tell you, to see all of you here and to be standing at this site, which for many of us has been a long time coming. This project has been in the works for 7 years plus, and to see it actually being built, especially for many of you who have been involved for that long, this is exciting. Thank you for joining us here today for the official groundbreaking ceremony for a project known as 358. First, let me thank Mayor Lee for being here today, Supervisor Jane Kim for being here today. Really, your support for this project, continued support in the community is very important for us, so thank you. Mayor Lee, you've really done a fantastic job in this city of San Francisco, both embracing the commercial and the residential development, really an unprecedented development. It's just been great. We're glad to be a part of it. Supervisor Kim, your team's really been so supportive, and we're very appreciative. Your efforts, we couldn't do it without you, and we thank you very much. Let me tell you a little bit about our project. For those of you who don't know, we do have some photographs up here. Probably the most important one is to my left, which is where we are in the city of San Francisco. Truly a gateway site, gateway project. We are proud to have it stand out in San Francisco as a place where people will see, recognize, know, and be proud to be a part of. This project really is a culmination of a lot of thought and effort into trying to embrace the community and the neighborhood. Through the task force and the local community members, we now have a project that embraces the neighborhood. And it has a lot of unique features. We have 7 buildings, distinct buildings with unique design, 410 apartments, 62 of which will be affordable. We're going to have restaurants, neighborhood complementing retail, over 10,000 square foot office building down at that end of the project. We have over 8,000 square feet of unique zoning called PDR space, which is production, distribution, and repair. Really a very complementing use for this area. Where we're sitting right now is going to be a public park, probably one of the most exciting parts of this project. It will be open to the public. We'll have restaurants and coffee shops surrounding it, and it should be really, really unique and special. One of the most meaningful parts of this development has to be Ringgold Alley, which is just behind us. As many of you know, Ringgold Alley has significant social heritage to the LGBTQ community. The nearly $2 million investment by the city to improve Ringgold Alley will ensure the preservation of the history and the significant improvement to one of the most well-known historical streets in the city. Just like Western SoMa, we believe this community will be a greater sum of all of its parts. In order to pull off a development like this, it takes cooperation and collaboration of the community, city agencies, and the development team. The community, as represented by the Western SoMa Task Force, was in many ways the conscience of this project. They set high expectations and desired it to be as special as it is, of course, the gateway to San Francisco. Thank you for keeping us on track and making sure we preserve the integrity of what has come before us. When developing urban core properties like this, the complicated and difficult responsibilities fall on the shoulders of many groups like the planning department, the task force, and other city agencies like DPW, MTA, and DBI. All of these groups have been and will continue to be critical partners in helping us realize the full potential of this project. Thank you all for all of you have done and your continued efforts. In this business, it is important to have good partners. Let me first thank AIG Global Real Estate, our partner in this development. They continue to be an investor in the community and an owner of property in San Francisco, and together with us, they see the true potential of 358th. We've been doing business with PNC Bank for over 30 years. Their support has been tremendous, and to have them involved in really what's a transformational project for Associated Estates really means a lot. Thank you for your support. Certainly, last but not least, in order to pull off a development like this, they don't just appear out of the ground. They're created from really brilliant minds like Kava Massey and his architect team at KMA. But probably the most important person that I need to acknowledge here today is Amir Massey. Amir has been really the one that's been responsible for 7 years with meeting with the city, working with the local community, going to, I've heard, 120 meetings, 150 meetings, a lot of meetings. And that's really the difficult part of creating a project like this. I know Amir is excited to see his brainchild come to life, finally get built, so congratulations, Amir, and thanks for all your efforts. Although it's not easy to build a project like this, Amir and his Forterra team has great support from the best professionals in the business, including our general contractor, Robert Zobiashi. As developers and operators of apartment communities all across the country, Associated Estates has some exciting cities that we're in, but I have to tell you, San Francisco is really the most exciting city that we are in. It's definitely the most eclectic city. I know for many of my new friends here, what makes this city great is that it is different and unique. We are so pleased to call San Francisco home for us now. We're proud to be part of your community. And we want you to know we take our responsibilities very seriously. And we plan to build and operate a community that all of us will be proud of. Associated Estates has been in business for over 50 years. When we come to community, we make it our home. San Francisco is a place where we will call home for many years to come. We want to be proud of our contribution to the community. I can tell you that it is my goal that when people drive down the highway, or 8th or Harrison, and they look at this beautiful development, they will say, wow, that's where I want to live. Thank you again for all coming today. Mayor Lee, Supervisor Kim, I'd like to invite you up to say a few words. Thank you again for all of your support. Enjoy. Please.
Jason, thank you. And good morning, everyone. Welcome to the heart of San Francisco, or Western SoMa. It's a great weekend. Let me tell you, I like getting up on Monday mornings when the Giants win, the Niners win, and when we have developers that love this city and know what it's about. It's great to get up. And let me say this. This is the very first time Supervisor Kim and I have been together in a groundbreaking in her district. First time this week. And it's Monday. But I will say this in reference to Jason's wonderful comments. He's absolutely right. You know, sometimes when you're trying to bake something really good and you want to demonstrate how much this development can be for the community, you spend that quality time. I just didn't know it took you 7 years from here to do so. So, of course, I walked up and I told Tom Huey, it's taking 7 years to get the permits. No, we better move faster than that. But when you look at what they have proposed here and what they are about to build and what they're permitted to build, you already can recognize that there's a tremendous reflection of respect to this community. Supervisor Kim knows that because she works with a lot of developers. We work with a lot of developers in the city. And yes, these are good times, but we can distinguish between developers that love our city and developers that just want to make a buck. And it's nice to be here with a developer and a team of people that are reflective of what this community wants and needs and spend quality time doing that. This will be a very distinctive measure reflected in the way you've done this. I love the flexibility that you've made. It's not just 400 110 units of people living there. They're flexible units. They're units that will accommodate different lifestyles, different sizes of families. The measurements you made for the streets and how your designers have regarded how people get around these streets and making sure that people just don't use the alleyways as another passway to the freeway on-ramps. Pedestrian safety is not only to be respected, to be honored, but the open spaces that you have designed here will allow people to stop and say, hey, this is a community we have here, not just a place where people live. It's a community of space, of retail, of small businesses, of manufacturing. I was there just a block away at Pinky's Bakery this morning. They've got the really sense. They were telling us, God, when is that really for sure? And of course, they're expressing the years that people were talking about this, and they're excited, they're anxious, and they want to see this development come aboard and come in for the right reasons. I also just thank you, Jason, and to Associated for just the honoring of the LGBTQ community, for the alleyway, but also the suggestion that these other alleyways can be complemented as less than pathways and more about pedestrian places to be. I also want to say thank you to the entire team of construction and designers that you have here, because you're working on multiple levels of attributes to this community. So I was one of those that went by this bus depot for many, many years and wondered, gosh, isn't that a little bit underutilized? And as time went on and more we saw all the other developments go around, we became more convinced that underutilization and the excitement this would have. But we knew during those years, Amir, that you were working very hard to meet with everybody and to make sure you did it right and did it well. And it is already reflected in the designs and the concepts, the building that you have here. So you've created kind of the Giants 49ers type of excitement here. We're going to win with this one. We're really going to win world-class designs, complementary of our neighborhoods. Just timeliness is so important, certainly for your investors. And this is a good time, but it's also a time to say, let's do something for all of our communities. Let's really have a blessing here rather than a groundbreaking. It's almost a blessing that it complements the hours of people's input. And everybody is excited and anxious that you are here. We're going to not only watch, we're going to all participate in some level to support this going up, going out, and then to be able to have and invite hundreds of families to live here, work here. We're excited about this. So thank you for bringing this development here. We'll do what we should do. We'll honor this investment appropriately. We'll work with everybody to resolve every problem out here, and anything you need, we'll be there for you. Certainly, I know Supervisor Kim is excited about this as well, and I think we both share this as a great moment moving forward. Thank you very much for being here. Now, the supervisor, this is the first for this week, right? Supervisor Jane Kim. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We often trade off in introducing one another at really the incredible pace of construction development that's happening here in this part of the city. The growth that is happening here in the South of Market throughout District 6 is truly tremendous. But I have to agree with Mr. Mayor. Actually, he gave my speech. I don't know if I need to talk to Sonny Angulo and Jeff Buckley for them to stop talking to one another, but that was really my exact speech. This development is really a jewel at the heart of Western SoMa. And I do meet with a lot of developers. But sometimes when developers come in with a project and a plan, I don't want to sound cheesy, but the project actually kind of sings to you. It's beautiful. And when Amir came to our office, and by the way, I've only worked on the Western SoMa plan for 3.5 years. There are many folks here today that worked on this for 8 years. And I see Jim Miko and Toby Levy, who served on our task force for 8 years. And I know Amir was an integral part of that process every part of the way. But But when Amir came to our office to present his 2 projects, both the bus depot and the musical concourse, I was struck at how incredibly sensitive the project was to the neighborhood. Oftentimes, we spend a lot of time wrangling. Well, we'd like to see this. This is how it will fit into the neighborhood. We want to see the affordable housing. We want to see the jobs, and we want to see a diversity of jobs. But all of that came wrapped in this beautiful project that came to our office because Amir had spent the countless number of meetings. I didn't know how many. I guess it's 150 meetings. Listening to the community about what it wanted to see from a major development project. 8,000 square foot of PDR. I see SF Made here in La Cocina, which trains women, particularly immigrant women, to run their own businesses in a city that is obsessed with food so they can share in the wealth of this economy. I see Caleb, thank you for being here. We want to see affordable housing, and thank you for doing 15% on site. That is a huge commitment. And making sure that we had a mix of jobs, and also recognizing the stud bar, which is an icon in the Western South of Market community, and making sure that we respected that cultural icon here. And of course, as the mayor mentioned, the history of the LGBTQ, in particular the leather community in Ringgold Alley. And that park and that alleyway is going to be one of the most exciting parts of this project. I can't wait, actually, for the stone benches that are warmed by underneath. I'm always cold in the city. So I live 2 blocks away. I know that I'm going to come here with friends and sit on a warm bench. And those are the creative ideas that are going to make this project really a true part of what San Francisco is. San Francisco is eccentric. It is diverse. But that is why people want to come and live here in the city. And it's great to not just get another glass tower project, which I also support here in San Francisco, but to get something that is really going to fit into the fabric of the neighborhood and make the identity of this neighborhood even stronger, not less so. I want to recognize a couple of other folks. I had mentioned the 8 years. I see Paul Lord, a former planner with our planning department. I know that his heart was in the Western SoMa plan, so thank you for all of your work and dedication and really making this a community planning process, because I know that that was challenging for the planning department at first, so thank you. And I don't see Corey Teague, but he took over and really made sure that the true vision behind the plan stayed true throughout its course. I see SF County Transportation Authority that worked on the transportation portions. We have Chester Young, and I know Liz Bryson, who couldn't be here today, and of course our Executive Director, Tilly Chang. The pedestrian safety improvements are essential as we move from a more manufacturing neighborhood, light industrial neighborhood, to a mixed-use residential neighborhood. We need those crosswalks. We need the wider sidewalks. We need it to be safe for people to walk so they can go to work safely and to bike safely throughout the neighborhood so we can build that smart growth neighborhood. And finally, Amir Masa, I just want to thank you. It was truly an extraordinary effort to put this project together and incorporate everyone's idea and make it fit into this one project. I'm really excited for this project to get built. I know you did a lot of work with Sunny Angulo in my office, who also went to a lot of meetings on behalf of this project, and April Veneracion. But we really wanted to support this project. This project was something we were really proud of to be a part of and to support. And thank you all. Thank you to everyone here that has participated so we could be at this groundbreaking today. Thank you.
Thank you both for speaking and for being here. We do have real shovels here to actually dig some dirt. As everyone knows, we have a big hole in the back here. So we've already started officially. This is a ceremonial event, so we'd like to invite you to come down with us, take some photos, and have our official groundbreaking. Thank you all for being here today.
Look like you've done this before.
Good?
Are we gonna
Toss.
Do we toss?
All right.
Okay, let us know.
Go. 2, 3. All right. Got it. One more time? Okay.
Soft dirt.
1, 2, 3. Soft dirt.
This will be the last time we're here.
Great.
Are we good? We're going to get out of
Get closer for one.
Yeah.